Welcome, dear Igraspers, on this week's news wrap. Respect is a two-way street. If you want to get it, you've got to give it. So let's get ready and always step up to respecting everyone and everything. The highlights of this week's news wrap are: India sends 270 metric tons of food aid to 4 African countries to deal with COVID-19 crisis. Singapore brings 60-second breath test to detect COVID. Scientists create transparent wood as clear as glass. NASA's Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy, SOFIA, discovers water on sunlit surface of moon. Scientists alarmed as Arctic sea ice hasn't started freezing. Rafael Nadal swaps tennis rackets for golf clubs and finishes 6th in professional event. And our very exciting F2 segment. Let's begin with our national news segment.
The Indian government has sent food aid to 4 Central African countries to help them deal with the COVID-19 pandemic calamities. The 270 metric tons food aid, comprising of wheat, flour, rice and sugar, was transported on an Indian naval ship, Igraasp, last week. This is not for the first time. Earlier this year, India has reached out to several countries and has also supplied anti-COVID medicines to over 150 countries. Proud of being an Indian.
Many are calling for faster and more efficient testing in order to mitigate the spread of the coronavirus. In a bid to do just that, researchers in Singapore have developed a breath test to detect COVID-19 in less than 60 seconds. This test is easy to administer and does not require any specially trained staff or laboratory processing. The fact that this test can provide an almost instant result is of great help to authorities trying to control this pandemic, especially in those highly populated areas. And how simple is this an innovation? Just blow into a tube, that's all. Machine learning software analyzes the sample and generates results in less than a minute. This is surely going to be an important weapon to fight against the highly contagious disease that has brought the world to halt.
Science is advancing at a rapid pace, friends. So many new innovations are making previously unthought of things possible. Just one of the numerous examples has made headlines recently. Scientists from the University of Maryland and the University of Colorado set out to find a greener alternative to conventional glass, which creates about 25,000 tons of emissions each year. The solution? Transparent wood. Yes, the scientists transformed wood from the balsa tree native to South and Central America into a clear material that could replace conventional glass. This innovation is much more efficient than traditional glass. And here's the icing on the cake. The transparent wood is stronger and lighter than glass and will bend instead of shattering if damaged. Wow! Imagine replacing windows with wood you can see through. Great work by the scientists and a step towards a greener future.
Scientists at Purdue University have developed a new super white paint that reflects an amazing 95.5% of sunlight off surfaces that it's applied on. This specially formulated acrylic reflects so much heat back into the surroundings that it's seen as a possible successor to air conditioners, one day helping achieve a greener planet. This is a way of keeping surfaces cooler without using any energy, as refrigerators and air conditioners do. The buildings this paint is applied on can remain up to 10 degrees Celsius cooler at night than the surroundings temperatures and up to 2 degrees Celsius lower in daylight. This forward-looking innovation is set to reduce our dependence on energy-dependent methods of cooling, in turn paving way for a cooler planet.
NASA's Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy, or SOFIA, has confirmed for the first time that there is water on the sunlit surface of the moon. This discovery indicates that water may be distributed across the lunar surface and not limited to cold, shadowed places. SOFIA has detected water molecules, or H2O, in Clavius crater, one of the largest craters visible from Earth. NASA is eager to learn all it can about the presence of water on the moon in advance of sending the first woman and the next man to the lunar surface in 2024 and establishing a sustainable human presence there by the end of the decade.
The Earth is plagued with the coronavirus pandemic, but space is not. And that is exactly why NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy and Russian cosmonauts Ivan Wagner and Anatoly Invashin have waited out this worldwide disease aboard the International Space Station for 6 months. The trio will return in a capsule that will land in the middle of the Kazakhstan desert. The crew had undergone stricter than normal quarantine before their launch 6 months ago, since they would be alone in space and would have to be extra cautious. After waiting out the pandemic, Cassidy showed pictures of himself wearing a mask as he was practicing for his new reality. What a world they have waiting down below to greet them.
Scientists are alarmed to note that for the first time in recent history, the Arctic sea ice in Siberia has not started freezing in spite of it being end of October. They believe that the delayed annual freeze in the Arctic Sea is caused due to the prolonged warmth in the northern part of Russia. The ocean temperature of the area skyrocketed by more than 5 degrees Celsius above average after a record-breaking heat wave. This delay in the freezing of Arctic ice is yet another harmful effect of human-caused climate change that is damaging the nature. Igraspers, it's time we take a pledge to be more mindful and use our resources wisely.
The sixth week of IPL yet again did not fail to amaze all the spectators. Here are the top highlights. For the first time in IPL, Chennai Super Kings failed to qualify for the playoffs and became the first team to get eliminated. While Mumbai Indians have qualified, there is an interesting points table at the moment where any of remaining 6 teams can qualify. Kings 11 Punjab have steadily marched their way up to the 4th position in points table from the last position. They have won all the last 5 matches, with the coincidence of Chris Gale playing in these 5 matches. Varun Chakravarti of Kolkata Knight Riders has registered one of the best bowling figures of IPL 2020 with a haul of 5 wickets against Delhi. This performance has also led to his direct selection in India's T20 squad against Australia.
Rafael Nadal Pereira, the Spanish tennis player currently ranked world number 2, was seen playing golf at the Balearic Championship in Mallorca, Spain. Does that surprise you? Well, it turns out he's equally adept on the fairways and greens as he is on clay, grass and hard courts. Playing against 59 other golfers, most of whom were professional players, the 34-year-old Nadal tied for 6th position. Did you know, Igraspers? He is also a talented footballer and as a child actually preferred football to tennis.
Halloween is an ancient Celtic festival popularly celebrated in European countries and America on the last day of harvest. It is celebrated on October 31st every year, and the history of Halloween goes back more than 2,000 years. Halloween originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, a pagan religious tradition. People would light bonfires and wear unconventional costumes to ward off ghosts. Eating candy on Halloween has been a tradition because of soul cakes, a sweet treat used to distract ghosts in the Middle Ages. That's exactly why we like to celebrate Halloween, isn't it? Eating candies, dressing up in scary outfits, and knocking on doors asking trick or treat, hoping it's a treat. Did you know Americans spent more than $8.8 billion on Halloween last year, making it the second largest holiday industry after Christmas?
Mohammad Ikram from Pakistan was born without both arms. This 32-year-old has mastered the game of snooker. He takes an aim, flexes his neck, and strikes with his chin, sending the cue ball across the table and sinking his shot in a corner pocket. Ikram has spent 8 years pushing a cue ball with his chin. Ikram is now ready to take on anyone and bring fame to his country. This only reinstates that where there's a will, there is a way.
Elton John has teamed up with toymaker Mattel to launch a version of the iconic Barbie doll, which became a pop culture item after it was introduced in 1959. The special doll will be a tribute to Elton John and his flamboyant style. Elton John says that Barbie is an icon in her own right, so having her pay tribute to my work and personal style is a real honor. I hope that she inspires fans everywhere to fearlessly pursue their own dreams and limitless potential.
The riddle of the week is, if you are running in a race and you pass the person in second place, what place are you in? Of course, second place.
Can you guess who? This Indian cricketer and Arjuna awardee is the only cricketer to receive all 3 ICC awards in a single year. He is the fastest cricketer to score 6,000 runs and the only Test team cricket captain to score 3 centuries in his first 3 innings as captain. He is the only cricketer in the Forbes 2020 list of the highest paid athletes in the world. Yes, you guessed it right, it's Virat Kohli. And did you know that due to his contributions to Indian cricket, a stand is being named after him in the Delhi's Firozshah Kotla Stadium?
Did you know that our favorite pollinators and honeymakers, bees, communicate with each other in a dance language called the waggle dance? Yes, this dance helps them tell other foragers about the distance, profitability, and direction of the food sources. Smart communication, isn't it?
Quiz time! Name a giant honeybee species of India that forages both during day and night. Send your answers to contact us at igraasp.com. Answer for the last week's quiz. The name India is based on Sindhu or Indus River. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Sir Reeth Pramanik from St. Augustine's Day School, Barrackpore, for successfully participating in the weekly quiz on India's leading news capsule for tweens, Igraasp.
The word of the week is paraphernalia, which means a large number of different objects that you need for a particular purpose. Let's arrange for the plates, spoons, and all the other paraphernalia we need for the party.
Igraspers, this week, let's hitch a ride into the outer space with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In this comic space science fiction novel series, Earth is destroyed by a race of aliens called Vogons. Now, Earth's only survivor, Arthur Dent, must travel the space and go on adventures and learn of the mysteries of the outer space. Here, he finds that Earth was a supercomputer designed by another supercomputer called Deep Thought. After Earth's destruction, descendants of Deep Thought are chasing Arthur to find an important question. What will happen? Where will his adventures lead him? Read this fascinating novel series and share your feedback on contact us at igraasp.com.
This brings us to the end of our news wrap. Igraspers, Start each day with a positive thought and a grateful heart. Until we meet again, stay cheerful, stay happy, and stay Igraasp. See you next week.